We are the Group 6 and this is our final project, Bayan Ko, Bayan Natin, Bayan ng Kinabukasan.
Good afternoon po. My name is Lhen from BSHM 2G. So here's the question po, sir. Number 1, does patriotism showcase love for the country can be considered as the important prerequisite for the progress of nation and how po?
Patriotism. So, kapag kasi sinabi natin patriotism, ito yung parang pagmamahal sa bayan, diba? So, pwede natin sabihin na mas makakatulong ito sa pag-unlad or sa pagpapaunlad ng bansa kasi nga mas magiging totoo yung mga Pilipino sa sariling kultura nila. So, yan. Oo.
How po, sir?
Paano? Yun nga, syempre kapag pinili mo yung sariling sa'yo, everything follows it.
Thank you, sir. Number 2 question is, if the human rights protect the Filipino citizens or the activists or communists who are being voiced for the concerns of nation's people?
Ayan, pinag-isipan ko na maayos dyan. So, ang naisip ko na lang dito kasi I'm not professional about this thing na mahirap kasi magsalita.
Yes.
So, kagaya ng sinabi mo na hirap itanong yan. Oo, binasa ko nga. Hirap din sagutin na maybe no comment na muna kasi wala akong evidence na kung ano yung sasabihin ko na magpapatunay sa mga bagay niya.
Okay po, sir. Thank you. Number 3 question. Without the use of education and being dependent with the other countries, we are able to know that the Philippines' economic growth can be sustainable in the future. So, without being complicated, do you have any insight that the counter-Philippines are progressively competitive in the future po?
Education. What do you mean is kapag walang education ba, malalaman natin yung progreso ng Pilipinas at
Ano po?
magiging...
Bukod po sa edukasyon at pagiging dependent natin sa ibang bansa, Philippines can be sustainable pa rin po ba?
Kung education, parang hindi. Pero sa pagsandal natin sa ibang bansa, pwede. So, hindi dapat magkaugnay kasi ang edukasyon kailangan yan ng buong mundo. In every country na kailangan nilang ma-educate sa mga bagay-bagay na tama at mali kasi kadalasan kala mo tama pero mali pala. So, habang napag-aaralan ng isang bagay, nalalaman mo yung mga bagay na tama. And about naman dun sa pagsandal sa ibang country, kaya naman natin, no? Kaya nga natin nung una, ba't di natin kaya ngayon? So,
Number 4 question po. How does the government help the country to grow and improve its deficiency in terms of poverty, hunger, lack of education, and livelihood po? What can be the possible solution that they can live by?
poverty, hunger, at lack of education, maybe kasi sinasabi natin lahat, corruption itself, pwede natin sabihin na cancer ng lipunan. Ang cancer kasi uncurable. Parang pag sinabing cancer, gamot lang or parang maintenance lang ang gagawin mo pero mamamatay at mamamatay ka pa din. So, first mo siguro, yung kagaya na sagot ko kanina, unahin mo muna yung sarili mo na bago ka maging leader ng bansa. Salahin mo na ng mabuti yung mga tao na magiging leader. Piliin din natin yung mga tamang iboboto natin. So, sa paraang ganun, everything follows. Siyempre, kung may good governance tayo, di ba ayos yung paraan ng pamumuno, magkakaroon ng maayos sa trabaho yung mga tao, hindi magugutom, di ba, magkakaroon ng magandang edukasyon. So, yun, start muna sa sarili, educate yourself, gawin mo yung mga bagay na makakapagpaunlad sa'yo.
Po, sir, thank you. Number 5 question po. As a Filipino citizen, how can we promote the value and importance of the country, Philippines, by its heritage, culture, and history po?
In Filipino, how can we promote the value and importance? Yun nga, today, pag sinabi natin globalization, hindi na natin dapat kunin kung ano yung culture ng iba, kundi dapat i-cater natin kung ano yung culture natin. In that way, parang ipapakita natin yung kagandahan na meron yung mga Filipino, like yung tinatawag natin bayanihan, paggalang sa mga matatanda, yung mga magagandang culture, yung
research or website po.
Ayan. Pagdating dyan, talagang kailangan mo nang mag-research ngayon about sa lumalabas sa internet. Kasi ang hirap paniwalaan ng tama at totoo. Ayan, nagbabasa lang ako minsan. Totoo ba to? Itatanong ko muna sa ibang tao. So yun, dapat mag-collect or gather ka ng data. Paano ba? Siguro mas maniwala na muna tayo sa mga nakikita natin sa TV. Kasi nowadays, naniniwala yung mga kabataan. Like minsan, napapaniwala kahit sabihin ko man na nakapag-aral ako, yun nga, nagtuturo ako. Minsan mapapaniwala ka sa internet. So, sabi nga nila, yung social media ba ngayon is the new, anong tawag dito, media ng reporting. So, it's no. So, dun pa rin tayo sa traditional na kung saan yung mga newscaster or yung mga sikat na TV station, kahit hindi siguro sikat, mag-rely tayo sa kanila at the same time, huwag sobra, gather din tayo ng sariling data natin para malaman natin na totoo. Kasi hindi rin lahat ng sinasabi nila is totoo. Pwedeng sa kanila lang, pero para sa atin ay hindi.
Okay.
So, yun.
That's all, sir. Thank you so much po.
Thank you.
Utang, ako po Lhen, menibat po kayong BSHM or Bachelor of Science and Hospitality Management po. Ngayon po mag-conduct kami pong interview regarding po kayong insight or pananaw yun po kayong Pilipinas. Ngayon po atin ko po nga na maikutang po sana kayo kasi balo mi po na apektado kayo po karang malilyari ngayon.
Basta po, nung balo kaya rin pag-ibatan yan.
Opo. Kayong number one question po, yung lugod po ba kayong bansa mo konsideraya po bilang pinakamahalaga karang paunang pangangailangan na po ng bansa?
Oo, dapat mga nito talaga. Dapat unahan tayong umunlad din Pilipinas para dakal rin misakita na tao.
Kaya pong pangadwang question, balo tamo po na ikatamungan po ating tamo pong karapatang pantawo. Ngayon po, ing po bang batas ing magprotekta kay katamo o reta pong tawong maging boses para po damdaman tamo po din gobyerno. Alimbawa po kayo ngayon, may kaka-jeepney strike po kaya po pilida kayo po. Sa palagay po, atin kayo po bang karapatang pantawo kanyan o mapoprotektahan kayo po ba ka rin? Or atin mo pong tawong maging boses para damdaman da po yung tayo?
Yan, kaya tayo kaya yan, urong yan, yung gobyerno yung magkibulig yung malalyari ngayon. Ala na kaya manakarapat nung patupad niya yung gobyerno. Pero dapat, dyan naman ditak pampanahon na rin yung driver. Kaya naman masabi nga kalupanan mo yung modernisasyon na yan. Kaya naman basta-basta kabut ka makapakyabe. Kung libre yan, wala namang problema. Unang gagastos ka mo rin ko makanano lareta nga la. Naman basta magmaneho ka, sobra-sobra ka pero. Dapat, pag-itindido ratang ka. Nino mo ang ibisa kaya modernisasyon na yan. Unang kita mo, naman basta pin driver, ag-unit ang makanitang muna, kaya kata mo, probinsyaya mo, kapasidad ng makanitang alagang pamamaltutulog ng Aldodo. Kaya naman kalupag yan ng Manila, puro medyo masatilang managita rin ken. Saka mag-shifting na rin driver ken. Kinimisan mo. O kalupag na mo kinikikata mo, sulinib na kang magobra. Magar, lala na. Panayin mo pa lumol. O nakalupag yung syudad, dire-diretso itang karelang biyahe. Anti mo yan yung probinsya, makanya nang magkasaki rin taong magalanganin ko ma. Lalo na nung at niya pang pag-aral anak, medyo itang panagitang yan.
Okay na. At salamat po kayong sagot ko. Kaya naman pong katlo, bukod po kayong pagiging dependado tamo po karengalawang bansa, sa palagay po ba, kayong daratang na henerasyon, lalaguya po yung bansa tamo?
Para maglago ka rin hindi ka tamong bansa at yung ka rin manungkulan tamo. Kita mo, itong ginawa lang batas, kita mo, tutukita mo, susuporta tamo mo karela.
Thank you po. Kaya naman pong pangapat, baka nano na po kayang sopan ning gobyerno yung pamanunlad kayong bansa, kayang pamamagitan na po ning karelang pagkukulang, pakanano na po kaya nga sustain detang magkasakit po, dadanok, or ala pong obra or edukasyon. Pakanano da po kaya nga solusyonan to?
Yan. At muna man karela ito. Dapat, rin tao, dudurutan dala, lalawen dala, saka unano itang dapat pang agawa, kalo pa na magkatibal na bakulod. Unano man itang dapat agawa para rin tao, muyon ladla, makarita mo naman kaya aliwang kaya nagkakata mong basta. Nya saup-saup, mga nila ito.
Tayo po kayong panglimang putang. Bilang metong mamamayang Pilipino po, pakananuyo po kaya ang apapakiting halaga na po ning bansa tamo, kayong pamamagitan na po ning kultura, kayong istorya, or karen pong gagawan tamong tradisyon po.
Masakit yung bagyayin, ron takal na migbayo kiti kaya katamong gayo. Kaya, dang dati tamong kay, at ang kaugalian, takal na itang mibayo. Kanya karan man tao, pagbatang mula. Dati itong binawal ning na itong amatua, maming tuya. O yan sumiyakapag ibayo, kulang namon nung yung mabusunod kaya nga rin. Nyada ka lang pa magbayo. Sino ating tamong bata sa hindi pa sobra sumakanita.
Salamat po kayong ay sagot nyo po. Then pong number 6, pakananuta mo po kayang atukoy na then pong akakita mo kayong TV, kayong screen po na tutula pong balita dito. Pakanano po kayang maging tiyak at akurado po na istula po din sa sabihan tamo po.
Ito na anyway, panahon na iti ako na hanggang ating kaya TV na ako di makapanood sa TV. Kanya nung kaya tayo kitang balabalita, na ako di
Okay po.
makatuki kasi kauli ko bali, matutod na ako.
Okay mo po ito. Thank you po, Tang. Opo.
Good day, ma'am. Mabuhay. I'm Danica TALA from BSHM 2G.
I'm Erin Joy from BSAIS 2B.
Maaari ko po ba kayong interviewin?
Sige.
Question number 1. Does patriotism showcase love for the country? Can be considered as the important prerequisite for the progress of nation? How?
Oo, sa pamamagitan ng pagmamahal sa bansa ay pumapasok ang pagsuporta sa iba't ibang aspekto gaya ng kultura at ekonomiya. Ito ang magdudulot ng pagkakaisa ng mga mamamayan at ang pagsulong ng mga produktong sariling atin.
Number 2. Is it the human rights protect the Filipino citizens or the activities communities who are being voiced for the concerns of nations people?
Oo, dahil sa karapatang pantao, mas nagkakaroon ng kakayahan ang mga mamamayan na ibahagi ang kanilang mga suhestyon, komento at ang mga pagtuligsa na sa tingin nila sa mga bagay na sa tingin nila ay di makatarungan.
Number 3. Without the use of education and being dependent with the other countries, how we are able to know that the Philippines' economic growth can be sustainable in the future without being complicated? Do you have any insight that the country Philippines are progressively competitive in the future?
Oo, di naman malabong na umunlad pa sa susunod ang Pilipinas. Unang-una ay pagkakaroon ng disiplina ng bawat mamamayang Pilipino. Unti-unti makikita natin ang epekto nito. Makakatulong din ang pagtutulungan at pagsuporta sa ating mga sariling produkto.
Number 4. How does the government help the country to grow and improve its deficiency in terms of poverty, hunger, lack of education, and livelihood? What can be the possible solution that they can made by?
Malaking trabaho para sa gobyerno ang pagtugon sa mga kasulukuyang suliraning hinaharap ng bansa. Ngunit hindi ito imposible. Mareresolba ito sa pamamagitan ng pagtutok sa mga suliranin na ito upang sa gayoy makapaglaan ng mga konkretong programa na talagang sasagot sa mga pangangailangan ng mga sektor ng ating lipunan. Sa pamamagitan ng tutok na implementasyon ng mga programa, makatitiyak na matutulungan talaga ang mga tunay na nangangailangan.
Number 5. As a Filipino citizen, how can we promote the value and importance of the country, the Philippines, by its heritage, culture, and history?
May ipapakita natin bilang mamamayang Pilipino ang halaga ng ating kultura, historya at mga pamanang yaman sa pamamagitan ng pagpapanatili at pagsasabuhay ng mga ito upang maipagpatuloy ito ng mga susunod pang mga henerasyon. Siguruhing may mga pagkakataon ng mga programa na isasalaysay ang mga ito upang manatiling nakatatak sa puso at isip ng mga saling lahi.
Number 6. How we are assured in the present time that all news flash on your screen are real and not fake? Do you have any method in confirming it by using research and website?
Ngayong panahong laganap na ang teknolohiya, mas talamak ang mga mading impormasyon. Upang masiguro na payak, huwag kaagad tayong maniwala sa ating mga naririnig o nababasa. Ugaliing magkaroon na maingat na pagsusuri gaya ng research at hanapin lamang ang mga mapagkakatiwala ang mga sources ng impormasyon. Pag nakatitiyak na tayong tama ang ating impormasyon na nakuha, maaari na natin itong ibahagi sa ating mga kababayan.
Okay na po. Thank you so much.
What's your name, age, and profession?
I am Tina Mariah Lim Hampagan, 22 years old, and registered nurse.
Can we start the interview? First, does patriotism showcase love for the country can be considered as the important prerequisite for the progress of nation and how?
Patriotism reflects love for one's country, can contribute to the national unity and a sense of a shared identity. While it is not a sole prerequisite for progress, fostering a collective commitment to a nation's well-being can positively influence social cohesion and collective efforts toward development.
2. If it's the human rights protect the Filipino citizen or the activities or communities who are being voiced for the concern of Asian people.
Human rights are meant to protect all individuals, including Filipino citizens. Activists, including those with communists, often advocate for various concerns related to human rights and social issues. It is essential to recognize that perspectives on this matter may vary, and different groups may have different priorities and approach in addressing societal issues.
Without the use of education and being dependent with the other countries, how we are able to know that the Philippines economic growth can be sustainable in the future without being complicated? Do you have any insight that the country Philippines are progressively competitive in the future?
Sustainable economic growth in the Philippines can be influenced by factors such as domestic innovations, investments in key industries, effective governance, and infrastructure development. A focus on these elements, combined with responsible resources and management, could contribute to the country's competitiveness and long-term economic stability.
And how does the government help the country to grow and improve in efficiency in terms of poverty, anger, lack of education, and livelihood? What can be the possible solution that they can make life?
The World Health Organization implements the goal of sustainable development, which is to find a long-term, sustainable balance between social progress, economic expansion, and environment preservation. According to the WHO, the Sustainable Development Goals, which are the SDG, aim to transform our world. They are called to action and to end poverty and inequality, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy health, justice, prosperity, and it is critical that no one is left behind.
And as a Filipino citizen,
Go.
As a Filipino citizen, how can we promote the value and importance of the country, the Philippines, by its heritage, culture, and history?
To promote the value and importance of Philippine heritage, culture, and history, we can create historic and cultural facilities around the country and serve as the center for tourism, entertainment, cultural education. This will support the promotion of the Philippines top attractive for cultural tourism, which support economic expansion. Remember, small action collectively contribute to a stronger appreciation and understanding of the country's heritage, culture, and history.
And last, how we are assured in the present time that all news flash on your screen are real and not fake. Do you have any method to confirm it by using research and website?
Verifying news requires critical thinking, cross-checking information from multiple reliable resources, fact-checking website, and consult established news organization. Be cautious with unverified social media sources and consider the credibility of the publication or journalist.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you po. Welcome.
Number 1, what does patriotism mean to you and how do you express your life for you? How to?
Patriotism is having commitment to our country and love to our fellow Filipino. We need to understand, accept, and love our country, our culture, and of course, be proud of being a Filipino.
Number 2, how will you address the meaning of the elderly and for the art
It is well known that as a society, we are living much longer. Thanks to improved living condition and healthcare while being able to reach old age is something to be thankful. For in many ways, there are several challenges facing the elderly, which we all need to pay more attention of. More often, it is not until we start to age ourselves, or we see a loved one struggling with a problem that we sit up and take notice. But as a society, we can do more to make life easier for our aging population.
Number 3, what police for you are police for young, prosperous, and sustainable to
No poverty. We ensure people to stay healthy so they able to work, enabling them to earn money to support themselves and their families. Good health. Provide clean water and sanitation and working place. It is essential to ensure that people will have a workplace conducive to maintain good health. Quality education aims to ensure that all children, including those with disabilities, are able to go to school.
Number 5, what it is important for citizens to value their heritage, culture, and history.
Dahil doon tayo nagmula at kung sino at ano tayo mga Pilipino, kailangan natin maging proud at ipagmalaki ang ating kultura na nakasanayan.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Rachelle Ann GOPEZ from BSHM 2G.
And I'm Ronald Allen GOPEZ. As of now, I'm grade 11 student, STEM strand.
So, sir, pwede ko po ba kayong ma-interview?
Yes po.
Question number 1 po. Does patriotism showcase love for the country can be considered as the prerequisite for the progress of nation? How?
No, I believe patriotism isn't a prerequisite for the nation to progress. There's many instances where patriotism ends up reversing the progress. Despite not being firstly loyal to the nation, it is the willingness to improve the nation that is considered as prerequisite.
Question number 2 po. Is it the human rights protect the Filipino citizen or the activist communists who are being voiced for the concern of nation's people?
Either one. There are many laws and codes that protect the citizens of this nation, but the world continues to progress because of the activists that fight for human rights that bring light to come consider that as that being tackled in the constitutions.
Question number 3 po. Without the use of education and being dependent with other countries, how we are able to know that the Philippine economic growth can be sustainable in the future without being complicated? Do you have any insight that the country Philippines are progressively competitive in the future?
If the Philippines still continues to grow, there is hope for us to the progressive in the near future. Many young adults or youths now fight for their rights and are willing to overturn dictation of unfair rules for the sake of the equality and fairness.
Thank you po. Question number 4 po. How does the government help the country to grow and improve its deficiency in terms of poverty, hunger, lack of education, and livelihood? What can be the possible solution that they can made by?
By providing more programs that seeks to help the marginalized citizens of the Philippines, creating law that gives benefit for them too, will provide solutions.
Question number 5 po. As a Filipino citizen, how can we promote the value and importance of the country Philippines by its heritage, culture, and history?
By acting upon the codes that are implemented to us, promote values, heritage, culture, and history means to actively work for the very things you strive to promote.
And last question po, sir. How we are assured in the present time that all news flash on your screen are real and not fake? Do you have any method in confirming it by using research and website?
To finding more than 2 news. Sometimes the press publish news that not been confirmed and say it's confirmed. For the times being, find more sites and wait for latest news to know if the news is real or fake.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day.
Good day and mabuhay! My name is Lhen and I will answer the question number 1. Does patriotism showcase love for the country can be considered as one of the most prerequisite for the progress of nation? How? First, we will define what is patriotism. Patriotism in the Standard Dictionary defined as the love of one's country, but in Stephen Nathanson book from 1993, 34 to 35 defined patriotism as involving number 1, special affection for one's own country. Number 2, a sense of personal identification with the country. Number 3, the special concern for well-being of the country. And last, the willingness to sacrifice to promote the country's good. Does patriotism can be considered as one of the most prerequisite to progress nation? Of course, yes. Patriotism should foster a sense of community and bring out the best in society. The belief that we are all in this together, united for the common good, is the essence of real patriotism. So to elaborate my answer, patriotism sustain or help the nation to progress as it is a good value to apply on our own, because we know that supporting, patronizing, and loving our own is the first step that can probably sustain or progress the nation. So in order for the nation to be eagerly progressive, it should be started first with one nation's of people, mankind. People in every country are patriotic. As George Bernard Shaw said, it is more about where you were born than anything else. It is part of mankind's tribal nature to consider the group as your people, and other groups be lesser being. The often patriotism is defined as love of the nation and loyalty to the government. That's all. Thank you.
Is the human rights protect the Filipino citizens or the activist communists who are being voiced for the concerns of nation's people? Human rights are meant to protect all individuals, including Filipino citizens regardless of their political beliefs or affiliations. Activists, including those with communist views, often advocate for human rights as the part of their broader concerns for social justice. The goal of human rights is to ensure that the well-being and dignity of every person, irrespective of their political stance. According to the Human and People's Rights Declaration of the Philippines, eradicating social, economic, political, cultural, ethnic, and gender disparities is part of the state's duty to ensure that the residents have the best possible standard of living. To ensure their empowerment, the government must always respect and take into account the concerns of women, children, youth, people with disabilities, the mentally challenged, the elderly, indigenous and Moro peoples, the urban and rural poor workers, both local and foreign, public and private, whether they are not employed in a formal capacity, displaced families and communities, and other vulnerable sectors when determining and implementing laws and policies.
We live in an era of unprecedented connectivity, real-time updates, and incredible amounts of data at our fingertips. The irony is that despite access to reliable information, this information runs rampant. There is a lot of seemingly reliable information out there that upon further infection turn out to be inaccurate, out of context, or flat out false information. And as the information that this fabrication and half-truth, half-truth increasingly media saving, it's becoming harder to remind what real and what's fake news. Social media inflation have contributed to this uptrend survey as echo chambers in which this story get much more expression than they would have ever have received in the free internet world, and this in turn offered them a false sense of credibility, will even most intelligent people can be mistaken. Occasionally maintaining a healthy degree of skepticism and evaluating that source of information can combat your vulnerability to misinformation. In a world in which fake news exists, you cannot be positive consumer of information and expect to encounter only the truth. Academics have to be critical of biases and falsehood that exists in information, especially in news sources that cover controversial or politics topic or political topic. A major part of academic work is learning to critically access information. This parting of the guide will help you identify fake news by asking questions. Knowing that technical characteristic of online news sources and conducting contextual research.
How does the government help the country to grow and improve its deficiency in terms of poverty, hunger, lack of education, and livelihood? What can be the possible solution that can be made by? I believe that the possible solution that the government can do to solve this lack of education and poverty in the government should give the budget that can support all students, especially those students who cannot afford to go to school. Focusing to all your dreams, give them a quality education, help them, guide and support on their way to success. Just like a Dr. Rachelle said, ang mga kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. Secondly, listen to the job requirements so that all the Filipino can find their job and they do need to go to abroad. The government should focus on the issue that are very relevant now because if the government could find the solution, we could not see a progress economy. Lastly, if all the Filipino work together, we can see the progress in our country.
As a Filipino citizen, and we promote the value and people of the country, the Filipinos pay in everything, culture and history. First, without to absent our culture, we must first live our country. It according to demonstrate our practitioner and it will teach us to test it the Filipinas. I should use social media and the social networking sites to spread awareness of our culture, drugs of Southeast Asia and the Bible case. I will be happy to stop everyone of multiple of culture is an outrage in Philippines. Will Filipinos are when I can seem to try to. We shall be proud and demonstrate to them the fullness of our fellow outrage, even with the face others are still.
How we are assured in the present time that all news flash on your screen are real and not fake? Do you have any method in confirming it by using research and website? Check the source. Determine if the source of the news is reputable and credible. Look for news from established and respected sources, such as the major news outlets, rather than obscure or unknown websites. Based on an article of Windavis, do you have any method in confirming it by using research and website? Check the source. Determine if the source of the news is reputable and credible. Look for news from established and respected sources, such as the major news outlets, rather than obscure or unknown websites. Based on an article of Windavis, December 5, 2016, you all isolate a claim that has something that can be objectively verified. You will seek the best primary sources in the topic, find whether they match or refute or prove the claim being made, and then present with all limitations the data and what the data says about the claim being made. Alexius Mansarlis said.
Patriotism is a core concept that involves special affection for one's country, personal identification, concern for the country's well-being, and willingness to sacrifice for its goods. It fosters sense of community and unity for the common good. Patriotism doesn't have to maltristic or damage our society. It doesn't motivate people to work for better schools, national healthcare, ending poverty, or expanding individuals' rights and democracy. However, it's important to recognize that patriotism is just about love of the nation and loyalty to the government, but also about fostering a sense of unity and unity for the common good. Human rights protect all individuals, including Filipino citizens, regardless of political affiliation. Activists advocate for social justice and well-being of every person in the Philippines. Declaration emphasizes eradicating social, economic, political, culture, ethnic, and gender disparities, respecting the concerns of vulnerable sectors like women, children, youth, disabled, mentally challenged, elderly, indigenous, Moro peoples, urban and rural workers, and displaced families. In today's world of connectivity, real-time updates and data disinformation is rampant with seemingly credible information often being inaccurate or false. Social media platforms have become echo chambers exposing fake news more than in the pre-internet era. To combat misinformation, maintaining skepticism and evaluating information sources is crucial. Academics must be critical of biases and falsehood in news sources, especially those covering controversial or political topics. This guide helps identify fake news by asking questions, understanding online news sources, technical characteristics, and conducting contextual research. Government is the governing body of nation, state, or community. With the rights to make laws and enforce them, it conducts policies, action, and affairs to help the country grow and improve. Improving resources is crucial for a successful nation, as it can create quality education, livelihood, and reduce poverty and hunger. Collaboration with other successful nations can strengthen existing resources and promote significant investments. A government that primarily aims to help people is a government for a nation. As people create nation, the political system includes both mandated and actual political behavior as well as informal processes. Accepting and loving our culture is crucial for demonstrating traditions and ideals. As a student in the Philippines, I spread awareness of our culture through social media and travel. We should be proud of our beloved country. To ensure reputable and credible news, seek news from established respected sources like major news outlet, suggests isolation claims with objectively verified data, examining primary sources to match, refute, or prove that claim, and presenting limitation and data.